Hey guys, welcome back. If you haven't watched the previous video that I posted after this one, go check it out. I'll put the link down at the bottom below, and then some point towards the end of the video I'll also put it up over here. In that video I did an unboxing of a Smith & Wesson M&P Shield bug out kit. So I didn't really do a review, I didn't talk about how it shot or anything, just really what the kit came with, what I liked about it and things like that. In that video, I came across two things that I really didn't like or found a problem with, so that's what this video is about. I did say that if I found out what was wrong with it and I was able to fix it, that I would share it with you guys, so that's what we're going to do. In that video, I did come across two magazines that did not fit the whole, this is an 8-round, fit a whole 8 rounds in it. And this one, the 7-round, did not fit. I fit one in there. So I did break them apart. We'll go over that. And then also, I came across the slide release on the actual pistol. Didn't work at all. I mean, it was hard. If you go back and look at that video, you could see I tried with both thumbs as hard as I could. It just would not release. So I was able to fix that as well. So let's dive into it. Alright, so these are the two magazines that I was having a problem with, and I'm going to break them down and show you guys what I came up with. We'll start with the 7-round one. The 7-round one was actually kind of easy, and actually I just let you guys know I loosened these up before the video. It's just a little tab you got to push in and then just slide it forward and it should come right off. But this one, and be careful because if you don't have pressure applied to it, this spring will just shoot right out. So keep your thumb on it and just take it out easily. But this is what I came across for the 7-round magazine. Is that when the spring was in there, it wasn't in, there's a little cutout here for the spring to sit in, just like that, and it wasn't sitting in there right. It barely was in there at all. It was kind of twisted a little and not sitting properly in there. So when the spring compressed, it didn't compress fully because there's only so much room in the magazine well that it can go. So that's what was causing I was only able to get 1 round in here, but as that spring tried to compress, it was really just, it had nowhere to go. So I was only able to get 1 round in there. But I was able to fix that one pretty easily. And guys, there's only one way that this can go back in there, so if it doesn't go in the right way, you'll know. So it's bigger on one side and then a little bit narrower on the other side. So that will just slide right back in there like so, and then your spring will go in there, and just make sure that it's sitting in there in that little cutout. And I like to use this to help me push it back down in, but it is a lot of tension, so just remember to keep your thumb on it. I wouldn't recommend doing this with anybody else around you, just in case it does slip. It's not going to hit them in the face or anything. But all you got to do is slide that till it clicks and you're good to go. So like I said, this one was fairly simple to fix. So as far as this one goes, the 8-round one, you guys are going to love what I found out with this one. Let's break it down and I'll show you what I found with this one. And it just goes to show how quick they're putting this stuff together. It's all just on a factory, just going down an assembly line, and someone probably didn't check, didn't go through quality control or something. But this one wasn't an issue with the spring. I actually had an extra piece in there. So I took that out and I was like, what? Are you kidding me? So thank you, Smith & Wesson, for giving me an extra, I'm not sure what the proper name is for this, but It's what the rounds sit on, the seat, I guess, giving me an extra seat. So I actually had 2 of those, and that's what was keeping me from loading this fully. I was only able to load it halfway, so I was only able to put 4 rounds in. So if you see, you got 1 in there, and then they had another one in there, and then the spring, but these 2 already taken up half the magazine. So once I took that out, I had no problems, but if one ever breaks, I do have an extra one. So thank you again for that. Like I said, this only goes in one way, so pretty simple. Just put that back in there. I usually try to jiggle it around until it sits in there, which I felt it fall in. And then we'll slide this back down in there. And put that back on. So these are pretty easy to take apart. Like I said, I'm glad they were simple fixes because I really like the fact that it came with 5 magazines, and I was a little bummed that I really only had 3 working ones, but now I have all 5 again. As far as the slide release, like I said in my last video, it wouldn't release. So when the slide locked, I would go to hit the slide release and I couldn't do it. And I tried with both thumbs as hard as I could. I couldn't do it. I had to pull it back to get it to release. Which, I mean, it's not stopping the functioning of the gun, but it's just something that I would like to have to load, to chamber around quicker. So I'll show you what I did with that. In order to get it to release with one thumb again. Like I said, this stuff must have been just going down a machine line because there's a couple flaws in this. Not sure how well you guys can see this. I'll try my best. Keep my finger out of it. But you can see in the back when I lift up the slide release, you see this little piece come up. That's what was, I guess, not machined all the way down. It was a little thick on the back end. Just a little bit. So what I ended up doing is my dad actually had a piece of sandpaper, and it's 220 grit, which worked great. But I just took a little piece off of it, and all I did was sand lightly. Get that out of your way so you can see. I just gently brushed the back end of this piece that keeps going up and down, the actual slide release. So all I did was just sand it. I sanded it a couple times. I put it back together. I tried it. If it was still sticking or not releasing, took it apart. I sanded it a couple more times, just the back part. You don't need to sand the whole thing down because if you sand too much, it's not going to lock at all. So this is something that you really want to be careful with, but it does work. So with that being said, I was able to do that. Like I said, it took, I don't know, 5 minutes. It's not much that you gotta sand off. It really isn't. And it works fine. So those are the 2 things that I found wrong with the actual bug out kit. I did say that I would show you guys what I found wrong with them. So here I am doing that. Hopefully this video helped you guys. If it did, leave some comments. If you guys had anything else that you had problems with and can't figure it out, put them in the comments below. I'll take a look at it. I'm not a gunsmith, but I like trying to figure things out. I definitely don't like spending $60 at a gunsmith per hour for them to fix it if it's something that I can fix. So yeah, if anybody has it, we'll start a little chat, any problems, and let's help each other out. But until next time, thanks again for watching the video, And don't forget to subscribe, guys. We got some cool stuff that we'll be coming out with on this channel, reviewing a lot of outdoor stuff, backpacks, things of that nature. So stick around, and we'll see you next time.